Maya Torres had exactly $43 in her bank account when she walked into the Grandview Hotel ballroom. The annual Christmas charity auction glittered with wealth she could only imagine: crystal chandeliers, designer gowns, men in tuxedos worth more than her monthly rent. She didn't belong here, but the organizers had invited local artists to display work for the silent auction. It was her chance, maybe her only chance, to sell something before the eviction notice on her studio door became reality. She navigated through the crowd carefully, balancing her portfolio and a tray of champagne glasses a waiter had thrust into her hands when he rushed past. The hotel was magnificent, all marble columns and gold accents, but Maya felt like an imposter in her thrift store black dress. "Excuse me, coming through," she murmured, squeezing between two women dripping in diamonds. That's when she saw him. Dominic Sterling stood near the auction displays, phone pressed to his ear, his expression carved from ice. Everyone in the city knew Dominic Sterling. Tech billionaire, venture capitalist, owner of half the commercial real estate downtown including the building that housed her struggling art studio. He was 35, devastatingly handsome with sharp features and dark eyes that missed nothing, and notorious for his ruthless business practices. Maya tried to slip past him, but someone bumped her from behind. The champagne glasses wobbled. She overcorrected, and her portfolio flew open. Loose paintings scattered across the polished floor. "No, no, no," she gasped, dropping to her knees. She grabbed for her watercolors, but her hand knocked the champagne tray. It tumbled forward in slow motion, and Maya watched in horror as golden liquid arced through the air and splashed directly across Dominic Sterling's pristine white tuxedo shirt. The entire section of the ballroom went silent. Dominic looked down at his ruined shirt, then slowly raised his eyes to Maya's face. His expression could have frozen fire. "Do you have any idea how much this costs?" His voice was dangerously quiet. Maya scrambled to her feet, paint-stained hands trembling. "I'm so sorry. Someone pushed me and I don't care about excuses." He pulled out his phone, examining the stain with disgust. Careless. Completely careless. Something snapped inside Maya. Yes, she'd made a mistake. Yes, she was embarrassed with every eye in the room watching her humiliation. But she'd spent her entire life being made to feel worthless, and she was done apologizing for existing. "It was an accident," she said, lifting her chin. "And for the record, maybe if you weren't glued to your phone in the middle of a crowded room, you could have stepped aside." His eyes narrowed dangerously. "Excuse me? You heard me. You're standing in a high-traffic area, completely oblivious to your surroundings, and somehow I'm the only careless one here?" Gasps rippled through the crowd. No one spoke to Dominic Sterling like that. "Your name?" he demanded coldly. "Maya Torres. I run Elevate Art Studio. The studio in my building on 5th Street. Recognition flickered across his face, followed by something darker. "The one that's 3 months behind on rent." Maya's stomach dropped. "I paid last month. I'm current." "Barely." He stepped closer, and she had to tilt her head back to meet his gaze. "Miss Torres, my property manager has been very patient with your constant delays. Perhaps this incident demonstrates why patience is wasted on people who clearly can't handle basic responsibility. That's not fair. Business isn't about fair. It's about results." He gestured at his ruined shirt. "And right now, the result is you've destroyed a $5,000 tuxedo and humiliated me in front of the city's most influential people." "Humiliated you?" Maya's voice rose. "You're a billionaire throwing a tantrum over champagne while I'm trying to keep my dream alive on $43. Forgive me if I don't feel sorry for your damaged ego." The crowd was openly staring now, phones out, recording every word. Dominic's jaw clenched. "We'll be discussing your lease situation very soon, Miss Torres. Count on it." He turned and walked away, leaving Maya standing in a circle of spilled champagne and scattered paintings, her entire future crumbling around her. The next morning, Maya received 2 phone calls that changed everything. The first was from her landlord, Dominic's property manager, informing her that her lease was under urgent review. The second was from Charlotte Green, director of the Children's Christmas Foundation, begging Maya to come to her office immediately. Charlotte's office overlooked the city, warm and decorated with children's artwork. But the woman's face was anything but cheerful. "Maya, we have a crisis," Charlotte said, gesturing to a chair. "Last night's incident went viral. The foundation's reputation is being questioned because of the conflict between you and Mr. Sterling at our event." Maya's stomach twisted. "I'm so sorry. I never meant, I know. But our major donors are concerned. The foundation raises $2 million every year for sick children. We can't afford scandal." Charlotte leaned forward. "I need you and Mr. Sterling to fix this together." "Together? He hates me. He's on his way here now. I've already spoken with him." Charlotte's expression was apologetic but firm. "You'll co-host a replacement Christmas gala. 1 week from today. Show the city that you can work together professionally. It's the only way to save the foundation's reputation." Before Maya could protest, the door opened and Dominic walked in, looking immaculate in a charcoal suit. His eyes landed on Maya with all the warmth of a winter storm. "Miss Torres," he said coldly. "Mr. Sterling," she replied, matching his tone. Charlotte outlined her plan quickly. They would meet daily to organize the gala. The event would be even bigger than the auction, showcasing both his business acumen and Maya's artistic vision. Refusal wasn't an option. "Fine," Dominic said flatly. 1 week. Then we're done." "Agreed," Maya said, though her hands shook in her lap. Their first planning meeting was at Dominic's downtown office that afternoon. The building was steel and glass, imposing and cold. His executive assistant, an efficient woman named Helen, led Maya to a conference room with floor-to-ceiling windows. Dominic arrived 15 minutes late, carrying his tablet and a coffee. He didn't apologize. "Let's make this quick," he said, sitting across from her. "What ideas do you have?" Maya pulled out her sketches. She'd stayed up all night drawing concepts, a winter wonderland theme with ice sculptures, local artists displaying work, live music, interactive stations for children. She slid the drawings across the table. A celebration of community. Something meaningful, not just expensive. Dominic studied them silently, his expression unreadable. Finally, he said, "These are good." Maya blinked. "What?" "I said they're good. Better than I expected." He looked up, and something flickered in his dark eyes. "You have genuine talent, Miss Torres. Why are you struggling financially?" "Because talent doesn't pay bills," she said bitterly. "I'm an artist, not a businesswoman. I can create beautiful things, but I can't market them or manage finances or negotiate contracts. That's your problem. You undervalue yourself." He tapped one of her sketches. "This concept alone could sell for thousands to the right buyer, but you're probably giving your work away." Maya felt heat rise to her cheeks because he was right. They worked for 3 hours, arguing about every detail but somehow building something extraordinary. Dominic had connections throughout the city, venues, caterers, musicians. Maya had the creative vision that made everything come alive. As the sun set, casting orange light across the conference room, Dominic stood and walked to the window. "Why do you care so much about keeping your studio?" Maya joined him, maintaining careful distance. "Because it's all I have. My parents left me at a children's home when I was 12. Said they couldn't afford another mouth to feed. The art teacher there, Mrs. Chen, she was the first person who ever told me I mattered. That I could create something beautiful despite everything ugly in my life." Her voice softened. "She died 3 years ago, but before she passed, she left me money in her will. Just enough to start the studio. It's my legacy to her. Proof that her faith in me wasn't wasted. Dominic was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was rough. I lost my younger brother 8 years ago. December 22nd. Car accident on the way to a Christmas party. Maya's breath caught. Dominic, he was 17. Brilliant, funny, everything I wasn't. Dominic's reflection in the window looked haunted. I was supposed to drive him that night, but I had a business meeting. I chose work over family, and he died because I wasn't there. That wasn't your fault. Wasn't it? He turned to face her, and the pain in his eyes was devastating. I've spent 8 years building an empire, accumulating wealth and power, and none of it matters because Lucas is still gone. So when you ask why I'm cold, why I don't celebrate Christmas, why I bury myself in work. Dominic wouldn't meet her eyes. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Getting close to someone means giving them the power to destroy everything I've built. I would never. I know you wouldn't intentionally. But Marcus will use you to hurt me. Your studio, your reputation, everything you've worked for will be collateral damage. His jaw clenched. I can't let that happen. So you're just going to shut down? Pretend nothing happened between us? It's safer that way. Maya stood, gathering her things with shaking hands. You know what, Dominic? You're right. Lucas wouldn't want you to stop living. But you're doing something worse, you're existing without really being alive. You're so terrified of pain that you're choosing emptiness instead. She headed for the door, then turned back. That's not protecting yourself. That's just slow suicide. She left before he could see her cry, before he could see how much his rejection shattered her. But she didn't see Marcus Webb standing in the hallway shadows, phone in hand, recording everything with a malicious smile. The real war was about to begin. That's why. Without thinking, Maya reached out and took his hand. He stiffened but didn't pull away. Lucas wouldn't want you to stop living, she said gently. How would you know? Because no one who loves someone wants them to suffer forever. She squeezed his hand. I think about Mrs. Chen every day, and I know she'd want me to be happy. To create. To live fully. Your brother probably wanted the same for you. Something cracked in Dominic's carefully constructed armor. I don't know how to do that anymore. Maybe we figure it out together. They stood there as darkness fell over the city, two broken people holding hands, and for the first time in 8 years, Dominic Sterling felt something other than emptiness. The next 4 days blurred together in a whirlwind of planning, arguing, and unexpected moments of connection. Maya discovered that beneath Dominic's icy exterior was a man who noticed everything, how she chewed her lip when concentrating, how she lit up when discussing art, how she always ordered tea instead of coffee. On the 3rd day, they worked late reviewing final vendor contracts in his office. Rain pounded against the windows at midnight, and the city lights below looked like scattered stars. You should go home, Dominic said, glancing at his watch. It's late. So should you. Maya stretched, exhausted. When did you last sleep properly? Sleep is overrated. Says the man with shadows under his eyes. She walked over to where he sat, his tie loosened, shirt sleeves rolled up. You work yourself to death, you know that? Working keeps me from thinking. Maybe thinking isn't so bad. She perched on the edge of his desk, closer than was professionally appropriate. Tell me something about Lucas. A happy memory. Dominic leaned back, studying her. Why? Because you only talk about him in the context of loss. He deserves better than that. Something softened in Dominic's expression. He loved pranks. Once, he replaced all my expensive cologne with colored water. Cost me thousands, and he laughed for days. A smile ghosted across his face. He had this ridiculous laugh, loud and completely uninhibited. I miss that sound. He sounds wonderful. He was. Dominic stood, moving closer until only inches separated them. You're dangerous, Maya Torres. Her heart raced. Dangerous how? You make me feel things I swore I'd never feel again. His hand came up, fingers brushing her cheek with unexpected gentleness. That terrifies me. I'm terrified too, she whispered. You could destroy my entire life with one phone call. You have all the power here. No. His thumb traced her jawline. You have the power. You've broken through walls I spent 8 years building, and I don't know whether to thank you or run from you. Don't run, Maya breathed. Dominic's control shattered. He pulled her against him and kissed her with 8 years of repressed longing, grief, and desperate need. Maya melted into him, her hands fisting in his shirt as the kiss deepened. It was fierce and tender, rough and reverent, everything neither of them knew they needed. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Dominic rested his forehead against hers. This is insane, he murmured. Completely. I don't do relationships. I don't do vulnerability. I know. Maya cupped his face. But maybe it's time to try. He kissed her again, slower this time, savoring every second. When his phone buzzed insistently, he ignored it. When it buzzed again, Maya pulled back. Answer it. Might be important. Dominic grabbed his phone, frowning at the screen. It's Marcus Webb. Maya knew that name. Marcus Webb was Dominic's former business partner, now his biggest competitor. Their split had been ugly and very public. Dominic answered. What do you want, Marcus? Maya couldn't hear the other side, but she watched Dominic's expression turn glacial. You're lying, Dominic said coldly. That's absurd. A pause. I don't care what you think you know. Stay out of my business. He hung up and stood frozen, staring at nothing. What did he say? Maya asked carefully. That my relationship with you is inappropriate. That I'm showing favoritism by helping your studio. That he's going to the press with accusations of corruption and ethics violations. Maya's blood ran cold. But we haven't done anything wrong. Haven't we? Dominic stepped back, creating distance. I own your building, Maya. I have the power to evict you or save you. And now we're involved. Marcus will twist that into something ugly. So what are you saying? I'm saying maybe this was a mistake. His voice was flat, emotionless, the cold businessman returning. Maybe we should keep things strictly professional until after the gala. Maya felt like she'd been slapped. Are you serious? You just kissed me like I was oxygen. And that was unprofessional of me. Unprofessional? 2 minutes ago you were telling me I broke through your walls. And I shouldn't have let